J. Cole, KOD. If you follow me on Twitter, you already know I love this album, but let's just get right into this shit. I don't really know the track list that well compared to like what songs is which title, but let me just start off with 1985, alright? It's a shame that people think that 1985 is a diss track in any sense, including Lil Pump and that Smoke Perp guy himself. It's like, it's a goddamn shame because it's not a diss track. Okay, it's like a mentor kind of track, and it's a shame that people, you know, blogs and people talking are saying it's a diss, you know, just because that's what's gonna get the most buzz and that's what's gonna get the most people talking about it. And that's just what, I don't know, that's just how it is today, I guess. Maybe it's always been like that, you know, people are always looking for that controversy, but it's like, it's not a diss, and it's a shame that it has to go off like that, even though Cole was coming off as like some sort of mentor, you know, rather than taking direct shots at these rappers. And you know, I'm getting a lot of a feeling that people aren't really feeling this album. You know, people are saying it's boring, people are saying whatever, it's like the same thing over and over again, it's nothing like so impressive. But I think that the disconnect that people are taking away from 1985, interpreting the track as a diss track, that's just one of the, you know, disconnects that people are having with this album of many, including the whole addiction trait, including the whole theme of the album that, you know, revolves around this kind of depressed state, this stressful state. And it's like, you know, the feedback that's coming off from this album, you know, people are saying it's boring, or people are saying it's whatever. It's like, there's nothing there, you know? It's like, is that also just a disconnect that we're having in today's music world? Is it like, is there a disconnect that people need to hear these bangers now? Do they have to be bangers? Is there just like, is there a certain level that's been set that rappers need to meet in their musical criteria that can only connect with people? I don't know if that makes any sense, but anyway, let's get into this shit. Second track, KOD, awesome track, I love it. Photograph was alright. It was kind of, I get the gist of it, you know, and like you love a celebrity perhaps, or an Instagram model, and you don't even know them in real life, or I feel like there's a little bit more substance to it than that, but there was just, it was alright. It didn't super connect with me because he kept saying, I don't even know your name, but I guess that could be like a username. You know, you don't actually know the real person's name, you just know their username maybe. But that was probably my least favorite track on the album. The cutoff is good, ATM, fucking love it, and that music video was amazing. Check out that music video if you haven't. Motivate's pretty good. Kevin's Heart is awesome. I love that little lo-fi piano in the background. That beat is so good, and that's just a great song overall. Brackets was the one that really, on the first listen, really hit me because that last verse is just incredible. Incredible last verse. And I'll say once it hit Brackets, the whole album really changed up for me. You know, after that, every track is really amazing. Once an Addict, that interlude is so good. So good. It's like, that whole verse is just so powerful, and it kind of spoke to me on some personal levels, I guess. Friends was really good. That last verse, again, he kills that shit. I think that's just the whole thing is a verse. Really enjoyed that. Window Pane was really good. That beat is kind of spooky in a way. I don't even know what that sound is, but it's kind of like that, the lead in a way. That shit's spooky as hell, and the story that he's telling and the whole interviewing the girl is really, it's just fitting. And I love how that is like the last track, but it's not the last track, because we have 1985 it goes into, which I talked about. I think that, I don't know why people aren't super thrilled about this album like I thought that they would be. I guess maybe just because I've been personally just looking for something in hip-hop like this for a little bit, and probably there has been albums that I haven't I haven't seen or caught on to that have the same kind of theme or message or vibe, if you will. But I don't know. I'm kind of upset that people aren't really digging this album like I am, because I think it's probably J. Cole's best album, not mixtape. I'll say it's his best album though. Maybe it's too soon to speak on that, but honestly, I really love this album, and I know it doesn't have a lot of bangers. I mean, you have KOD or 1985, which could go off in a way. ATM could kind of go off in a way. But I don't know. I don't know why people aren't really feeling this. They say it's boring. I hope that people aren't just like curating that from, you know, this whole meme that J. Cole has, that he's a boring rapper or whatever, or people like try to be funny and say like he makes some snoozer tracks or whatever, which sometimes, yeah, he does, but I mean, I think that the message really speaks. And there's a lot of fucking messages in this. There's a lot of them, and it's, I don't know. So hopefully people can kind of like sit with this album a little bit more and connect with it, or try to connect with it in a different way than just like off a first listen, where you're kind of, I don't know. I feel like people, like, why don't people get the message that J. Cole's not all about those bangers? After his last album, like For Your Eyes Only was like, what the fuck, there's no bangers on here. Maybe he's trying to say something else, or speak in different volumes, if you will. And I wish people would interpret this album in a way that's not like that, in which like, oh, we gotta have like fucking Mad City on here or some shit like that. I don't know, man. It's just whatever. If you like the album, you know, some people aren't gonna like this album sonically alone, and that's fine. You know, maybe they really just do not like the beats or whatever. They don't think he's rapping that good. And something else I wanted to speak on was a lot of people were saying that he might be doing that kind of new age flow, or the whole like really repetitive lyrics a lot, because it's kind of like he's parodying the new rappers coming up, and they have like very repetitive hooks, or just like very simple lyrics. And maybe that's true, maybe that's not. If it is true, then that's really cool. That's really cool. I appreciate that, and I think it's smart, and it is catchy in a way. Like ATM is very catchy, and he's just saying count it up a bunch of times. But then he kind of slides that lyric in there at the end about the money. You can't live without it, but you can't take it with you, or whatever. That's really all I gotta say, man. I really love this album. And this video is going on 8 minutes, so I know a lot of people's attention spans can't hold up that long, and you guys can't even listen to a motherfucking album like that has a good message in it, whatever. No, that's just my salty side speaking. Alright, that's it. I know my hair is fucked up. And I don't know why my cheeks have been so fucking red lately. I don't know what's up with that, man. But alright. Peace.